Ready? Ready?
Yes.
Hi everybody, this is Keenan Crick from Second Harvest of the Greater Valley, and we are up here in Amador County today at Interfaith Food Bank of Amador County, and we're here with the director, Beth Santon, and board member, Doug Swint, and today we're going to highlight what's going on up here in Amador County and how they're feeding their community. So Beth and Doug, thank you both for being here with us, and we feel privileged to be able to take a tour of Interfaith Food Bank and kind of highlight for everybody that's watching here today just what's going on and what you're doing as part of the food bank. So what are some highlights?
Well, thank you. You know, something that I just thought about is if you see these garden boxes out in front, we have an Eagle Scout that's coming over to redo the garden boxes, and we're going to put new soil in them. And she is the Eagle Scout, and she's going to build cages up top around them so that we can plant vegetables again, because we have a lot of fun with that.
Great.
So that's a cool thing. And we also have, today is our produce day, so our food bank is closed, but we are giving out fresh produce only today, so that's kind of where we're at.
So today we just want to kind of take some time to kind of go through and have all of you have the opportunity to see what's going on here in Interfaith. And so we're going to head in, and Beth's going to kind of show us around.
Okay. So this is our lobby, and in the very best of times, we have chairs in here, and our clients come in and sit down, and we visit with them, and they go into the intake office, and they get signed in, and then we bring their food out to them, and we go out to their cars together. But we haven't done that for over a year, and we don't know if we're ever going to be able to do that again because we don't have sufficient space in here to bring people in. The other thing that's been kind of tough for us with COVID is that we have showers in our facility for people that don't have access to a shower. And this one has some of our kids' boxes stored in it. But we haven't been able to use them for over a year. So we're very excited about the thought of maybe being able to open them 2 Fridays a month.
And what needs to happen for you to open those?
We need to have volunteers. We want to have at least 6 volunteers that will come in on the 2nd and 4th Friday of the month and clean them after each shower, because they're going to have to be cleaned really well after each shower. And I think once we get in a rhythm, it'll work out well. We have big plans for the changes that we can make in here so that at some point this hall will be blocked off and stop and people can use the showers without being part of the food distribution. Right now, our food comes down this hall, so we can't use the showers because we just can't distance people, and it just won't work.
Okay.
So we're really excited about getting to use those again because...
So do you have an idea of when you'll eventually be able to use the showers?
We're hoping in May.
Okay.
We're hoping to start with the 2nd and 4th Friday in May. And I haven't said that to the public yet because if something happens, then we have to take it back. And I don't like to do that.
Right, right. Okay. So let's take a look at the wall over here.
This is a group of high school students that came in and painted this wall with the Plant the Way to Health, and they put colored footprints on here so that you could walk your way to health. And then we had our clients take paper plates and just let us know what their sentiments are about what the food bank does for them. And what we found more than anything else is that people are just grateful. They're just thankful because they have food. And for us to be able to give that to people is what makes us keep going every single day.
So what's been one of the biggest challenges since COVID for your food bank?
Aside from closing the showers, because that's a big deal for people, and it doesn't seem like it would be, but it really is.
Yeah.
That's been really tough, but I guess our greatest challenge has been finding the best way to get to people that can't get to us anymore.
Okay.
In the very beginning, everyone was so scared. We had, some days we were doing 105 families, which doesn't sound like a lot, but this county has 36,000 people in it, so that's a lot.
Right.
And we find that if we can get to them, they're grateful to have the help, but they don't want to come out. People are afraid to take something. People in Amador County are really rare in that if they think that they're taking something that someone else might need, they won't take it.
Okay.
It's like, no, I want you to take care of the people that don't have anything, because we have this much.
Right.
So that's been a tough one. It's been really hard for us to continue. We had some of our sites closed. So like in our own, which is one of the more populated areas of the county, we had a site down there and it closed because it was volunteer driven and it was mostly seniors and they just couldn't do it. So we had 15 sites and most of them closed in the very beginning, and then they eventually started opening up a little bit, but Ione still isn't open and they don't think it will.
Okay.
So that's been tough, getting food to people. And to keep going, we probably have 50 volunteers that come in for some block of time every week.
Okay.
And some people come in and just do one thing. And we have quite a few people that come in and just do one thing. That's one thing that's being done. So when we had no volunteers,
right,
the staff is just, they're just
overloaded.
beat. Yeah, they're overloaded. And they're thinking, oh, I forgot, we didn't do that. But it's, you take for granted the kindness and the value of the volunteers.
Right.
Speaking of volunteers, so we're really thankful that the National Guard has been here. That's been huge for us.
Well, I was going to say, that's a good segue, because as we go out here, we can kind of see what's going on inside the food bank.
We can. So we have, this is kind of our dry area. We call it our horseshoe. And what we do is we bring in our store stuff every day and we just bag it up and give it out. What we used to do,
Excuse me.
we used to have menus and people would tell us what they like, and then we would work off of those to be sure and give people more of what they wanted instead of just what we have. But since the last year and a half or so, it's been pretty much just bagging up and giving people boxes of whatever we have.
Now, are there any specific food items that you're lacking, that you're in need of?
There aren't today,
Okay.
but what we noticed that we're really lacking, we don't seem to have, is meal in a can or meal in a box kind of stuff. We always need that. That's something that we just are always lacking. Otherwise, we're doing pretty good for food right now. We're really blessed, and we have a lot of food, and we just hope people recognize that.
Yeah.
We have a lot of cookies, that's for sure. That's probably not the best thing, but, and we kind of, during COVID, because we didn't have so many people here helping us, we did a little bit of moving things around. We put this down the middle. Doug works in the warehouse for us.
Okay.
He's one of our volunteers. And we put these pallet racks over here, so we just have a little bit more space. And we're trying to keep our EFAP food separate from all of the other food, because we don't want to mix it up.
So, I mean, obviously space is at a premium right now. And is that something that you're in need of?
Desperately. Desperately. We're renting what used to be a drugstore on Sutter Hill next to our thrift store, just for space right now.
Okay.
And we're working on a proposed space in Jackson that we think we'll have by May 1st.
Yep, we should have it by May 1st, and that'll provide us a place to get the produce out of here, the bulk produce, and allow us to have more, and then to have the distribution through the building.
Okay.
It's got good truck access.
So would that move the food bank completely, or is that just an extra storage facility?
That's a storage facility that we're going to have a big refrigerated cooler on, as well as the storage facility. And that kind of brings us to a truck that we're working on right now. And we're going to get, with community block money, we're going to buy a truck that, we're not sure what we're going to call it just yet, but it's going to be like a bookmobile with food, or not a prepared food.
So it'll enable us to take all of the boxes and crates we currently is being configured. Those will work in that truck. So it allows you when you stop, open up the canopy and get out.
Oh, okay.
So it'll provide a good visual for people coming to look good and make some choices.
So we'll set up a fruit stand, and then inside we'll have a freezer area that will allow us to take frozen meat and protein, and then we'll have a cooler area that we can use for milk and butter and eggs and anything that we need to give out that needs to be kept cool. So we're looking forward to that. It's going to be nice because Amador County is an interesting county in the way it's configured, and it's a big deal for somebody to come down from not Mountain Ranch, Calaveras, but it's close by. But to come down from Pioneer or come down from Volcano, come over from River Pines, it's a big deal. And when gas is $4 a gallon or close, it's going to cost somebody. It could cost them $20 to come here and go back, depending on what they're driving. So that those are the things that we don't always think about. And then our school program is it's a great program, but again, it has its challenges because we build these little boxes of kid-friendly stuff, and we take them to the schools, and then the kids take them home. But to take them on the bus, you risk shaming. They're heavy. They're awkward. It's just a cumbersome thing. So our hope is maybe we're going to be able to take the boxes to the bus stops where people pick their kids up and disperse them there. We're just trying to be creative.
And as schools open up, do you anticipate more distribution happening that way?
Yes, I do. And we have a great food service program in Amador County Schools. So we work really well with them. And those kind of those connections that we have with the school district, with the senior center, with Common Grounds, who delivers frozen food to people, those connections, I think, are so important in these little counties, because if we're not seeing somebody, they are. So we can, our goal is to just make sure that we find everybody.
What about equipment, other infrastructure? How are you on that right now?
We're putting in the big cool box at our new storage location, so that's going to be wonderful. Cal Food Logistics is going to help us put a cooler outside a van that's it's going to be here stationary, but we can move it if we need to. So that's going to be nice, just for some extra cool space outside. The cooler seems to be the big deal because it's warm in the warehouse in the summer and it's cold in the winter, and we need to be able to keep most of our produce in a cool area. So that's our big goal with that. We just
forklifts, pallet jacks?
We need to get a forklift. We need one at the other area, and we're going to need another pallet jack. We need another. We could use an electric pallet jack here that stays outside, because it's hard to come up on the dock and do that.
Do we want to walk around kind of out front? Is there anything upcoming that people should be aware of that you have going on?
We don't have any events going on right now because we're scared to schedule them and then have to close them again. That's not something that we want to do.
And so without events, what are ways people can help donate to the food bank?
Our website, feedamador.org, we have a big old donate button right there.
So feedamador.org.
Correct. And you can go there and donate to us that way. You can come here and donate to us. You can mail to us. We're at 12181 Airport Road, in Jackson, 95642. That's pretty much, those are the best ways to get to us. Unless you want to come in and volunteer, which would also be wonderful.
Yes.
And we will take any volunteers that want to come in. We have 4 staff, the National Guard, and I think we have 5 active volunteers right now, which is better than what we had 6 months ago. So we're excited about that.
If they wanted to call, what number would they call?
209-267-9006.
Got it.
And we do our distributions here from 11 to 3, Monday through Thursday. And then on Fridays, we have that produce area going on. So people, it started at 10 this morning, and people can just drive through and get fresh produce from there. And we do that twice a month until November, and that'll be the 1st and 3rd Friday.
Okay.
So we got things going on.
And then, as far as moving forward, the National Guard is here until the end of September, and granted, nothing's definitive on whether or not they'll be able to stay or not. But if you did lose the Guard, you're really reliant upon that volunteer workforce.
We
to help
absolutely
support
are.
the food bank.
Especially
so
with
just something
the
to
food.
keep in mind moving forward for everybody.
People get vaccinated, a large senior population.
Right.
Part of our volunteer base, it'll start to loosen up.
Okay. That'll be helpful. Jessica, are there any other questions coming through?
No, none at the moment. So I went ahead and I put in all of your pertinent information. We will be tagging Beth, and you can also find this on our YouTube site later on next week if you want to refer back to it. So make sure you give some love to our friends up here in Amador. They're working hard feeding this part of the community.
So, thank you, Beth. Thank you, Doug. We really appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you next time at our Small Bite.